We at the Dome appreciate you listening. If you're enjoying this podcast, please share, subscribe, and like. Thank you. Good evening and welcome to another segment of News from the Dome. I'm your host, Zip Osborne, coming to you live from the Dome Studios, right here on Tarian 347. Tonight, pirates in our midst. We investigate reports that residents in the Skags are secretly working with the pirate queen, Nadia. Portal workers and management agree to a contract, ending weeks of interstellar travel concerns. And what's that smell? Residents of apartment blocks 3 and 4 on the northeast edge of town are complaining of a smell that can only be described as excrement. So, let's get started with a word from our sponsor, Zorcorp, powering your today and your tomorrow.
We at Zorcorp take great pride in our work and steadfast commitment to power the lives of more than 1 trillion people living on 84 planets across the galaxy. And you can become a part of the team. With more than half the galaxy still to be explored, there are vast opportunities in our sales and outreach departments. And there is always a need for more mining experts and mechanics for work at our processing plant. For more information, contact your local Zorcorp representative. Zorcorp, powering your today and your tomorrow.
I gotta say, I never tire of that commercial. Let's not forget our other wonderful sponsors, Daisu Hoverboards, great boards, great price, and by Zach's Zorodite Mining Equipment, where you will always find what you need to succeed. Now to our headlines. Pirates in our midst. In our last segment, Mayor Dixon proclaimed that a secret network of Skags are working with Nadia and her pirates. He said that while their goal was unclear, he was determined to get to the bottom of it and promised that he would keep the citizens of the Dome safe. We sent Elka Mismon into the Skags to see if she could find what might be going on.
Thanks, Zip. We're here in the hustle and bustle of one of the Skag's several open-air markets to talk to the locals and see if we can find any information about this so-called partnership in crime. I haven't spent much time on this side of town, and it's a pretty dreary affair. Makeshift shacks pieced together with scrap metal, old concrete blocks, even packed clay, line the narrow alleys that wind through this neighborhood. Some of the dwellings are stacked one atop the other against the town's wall. They look incredibly unstable. But I noticed there's a real beauty here, too. In the center of this little village is a large community garden. Stalks of orange corn, beds of crisp brown lettuce, and roots of all sorts are growing here. The people tending the garden smile when they see me, and children are playing in the stalks of corn, laughing. The open-air markets are another sight to see. Bustling with activity, merchants sell everything from dried meats, crafts, black market coal, to used clothing. The inhabitants seem to be a mix of native Tarians who, for one reason or another, have found themselves living within the walls of the Dome, and failed miners, too broke to buy a ticket off planet, or perhaps with nowhere to return to. These people are poor, no doubt about it, but they do seem to be making the best of a bad situation. They've built a community here, and they're proud of what they have. Excuse me, miss.
Yes?
Hi, I'm Elka Mismon.
Oh, the lady from the news?
Yes, that's right. I wanted to ask you what you think of the mayor's claim that some of the residents here are working with the pirates.
It's nonsense. Don't be a fool.
Hey! Come back! Well, thank you for your time. Oh, here's someone who might know a thing or two. Hello, sir.
See you next time, Juna. What can I do for you, Missy?
I see you sell used clothing.
You don't look like you're buying.
Well, no, I'm not. But I do have a question for you. Can you tell me what you've heard about pirates being here in the Skags?
Big Bob's a jackass. If you ask me, he's making the whole thing up. The man is always working an angle.
Goodness, those are some strong words. Do you have any proof?
Look around. Do you see any pirates? Now, if you don't mind, I have clothes to sell.
Well, if there are any pirates around here, or Skags working with them, it may be hard to prove. I guess we'll leave that job to the sheriff. Back to you, Zip.
Thanks, Elka. Not a very cooperative bunch, those Skags. Now, let's move to the other side of town. A peculiar smell has taken over apartment blocks 3 and 4 and residents are outraged. We invited Ziggy Dustoff, the building manager for Block 3, to our studio to discuss the problem. Welcome to the studio, Miss Dustoff.
This place smells as bad as Block 3.
Our technician had blood hoppers for lunch.
Well, it smells like boiling hot dookie.
And that's exactly what we're here to talk about. So, can you tell our listeners what's causing the smell that folks are complaining about?
It's that damn rancher Norm. He's got so many of those damn wallabies on his land. The stink just comes in right over the wall. Man, he should be fined. Or better, throw it in jail.
I don't think stench lands you in jail, but a fine may certainly be in order. Do the authorities know about this?
Sheriff Sam? Sure he knows. I'm not holding my breath.
Well, you have the news on your side, Miss Dustoff. We'll keep on top of this story until that number 2 is 86.
You should start with his office.
Listeners, I want you to know the office doesn't smell that bad. I think that woman's nose has been permanently ruined by the smell of wallaby dung. Before we move on to our next headline, let's take a look at the weather. There has been no change in the timing or duration of daily meteor storms. 7 p.m. has continued to be the arrival time, and a duration of 10 minutes is holding steady. The protective shield is working wonderfully, and those under the dome can rest assured they are safe and sound. The intensity of the storms this month should increase, so be sure to look up to the sky and you may be in for a real treat. There's nothing quite like the light show provided by meteors smacking against the web of beams that make up the dome. Our commute report tonight doubles as our final story. The state of contract negotiations between portal workers and management. At the 11th hour last night, workers agreed to a 2-year contract, putting an end to fears of commute disruptions throughout the Tarian system. The agreement included a 2% raise and the promise that additional efforts to protect gate workers against space radiation will be taken. This ends 2 months of what can only be described as a visceral, verbally combative back and forth between the parties. Had the workers voted to strike, travelers from all over the galaxy would have been unable to enter or exit the Tarian system, and deliveries of raw Zorodite to the processing center would have ceased. We reached out to Zorcorp, and they have not responded to our requests for comment on how much influence they may have had in the negotiations. And so, you can expect trains and shuttles to be running without delay. That's all we have time for. So until next time, good night and good luck. Next time on News from the Dome. It's that time of month again. On our next episode, we'll be responding to your call-ins where you're the reporter and we present what's news to you. So, do you have breaking news? Or perhaps the next hot story? Let us know, and maybe it'll be your story on What's News to You.